Welcome back to the Ultimate Seattle Sports Show. It is day one on this program. It's great to have Dave Softy Mahler of Sports Radio 93.3 KJR with us. I'm starting to think, Softy, that we get into this show and you're making our jobs real easy today. Chris and I just have it on cruise control as you continue to go here and talk Seahawks and draft talk. So we appreciate you jumping on day one.
No problem. And hey, look, man, I'm just trying to set the bar real low, and apparently I'm doing a horrible job of that, man. How about you guys just take this segment? I'll just chill out and just have a little tea here out of my Super Bowl 48 cup here that's faded just a little bit, man. We need better merchandise. We need stuff that you can put in the dishwasher. It doesn't fade after 13 years.
Is that a gold medal behind you there? Did you win an Olympic medal at some point?
No, that is a my wife's marathon medal from the Rock and Roll Marathon. Although I don't think I need to say that was my wife's marathon, because nobody would ever believe that I ran a marathon, for God's sakes. I actually thought about running a marathon about 10 years ago and then realized it involved running a marathon, so I didn't do it.
Why would you do it? Why would you do it? Okay, let's talk, guys. Seahawks. Let everybody know. Pick number 32, 64, 96, 188. Do we really believe the Seahawks will only make 4 picks in this draft?
No. Listen, Softy, you know John Schneider. You've been on those pre-draft press conferences where he's doing it with smoke and mirrors, and when you leave there, you kind of leave there just almost a little dumber than you were when you walked in, because you feel like, should I know something that he just talked about? He never tips his cap for anything, never shows his hand.
Yeah. I wonder if that's how people will feel after watching this show, by the way. I just feel a little bit dumber now than I did at 10 o'clock this morning. I don't know what happened. Exposed myself to these.
Join us on the Ultimate Seattle Sports Show.
These 3 bozos. But, yeah, I mean, like, Chris, to your question about trading down, I think he'd love to. The question is, can he, right? I think everybody is going to want to trade down in this draft. I mean, this draft has been criticized by a lot of people for a lack of talent. It doesn't exactly have a big-time amount of household names, that a lot of the average college football fans out there have even heard of. And I wonder if he's got that same mentality. I mean, Paul and Chris, that's the thing for me, is I think we get really caught up in thinking that the people like Mel Kiper and all them, know exactly what's happening in the brain of John Schneider, exactly what's happening in the brain of every other general manager in the NFL. For all we know, they try and trade up in this year's draft. And you ask, well, how do they do that? They got 4 picks. Yeah, but they got 12 next year, right? In next year's draft that they could mess around with and maybe give themselves some more ammo if they do want to move up. Maybe they're in love with the kid from Notre Dame, his teammate, Jeremiah Love. Maybe they really desperately want this guy to be the next Kenny Walker, and they want to move up into the top 10 and grab the guy. I think what's got to happen, if you're rooting for the Seahawks to trade down, you root for a guy like a Ty Simpson of Alabama to fall, and you root for somebody else that needs a quarterback, right, to jump up and make an offer with the Seahawks at 32 to get that guy. Remember, Lamar Jackson was the last pick of the draft. He was taken 32nd. Aaron Rodgers was a late pick in the first round as well. So there's always somebody out there that falls in love with these QBs. All it takes is one GM to fall in love with these guys, and all of a sudden you got a dance partner to move up and trade with. So we'll see how this thing develops. But Chris and Paul, I think you're exactly right that if John Schneider had his druthers, I think in this draft on Thursday, he'd love to trade out, make a bunch of picks starting on Friday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just 4 picks this year, that 11 last year. And you look at Schneider's record in the last couple of drafts, he's been outstanding. And, you look at some of the things they did. The Gray Zabel pick, that was a need, but certainly the best player available. Byron Murphy has worked out great for these guys. Everybody loves the Witherspoon pick, and nobody saw that pick coming. I don't care what anybody says. Charles Cross is outstanding as well. So when you look at Schneider's last 3 years in the NFL draft, he has really done a nice job. One of those with Pete, and 2 of those with Mike McDonald. And I just love the fact that they can be unpredictable. But as Ernest Jones called Devin Witherspoon, he's a walking Hall of Famer, and he's due for an extension any day now.
And Paul, we just showed the first round picks. I think when you look at John Schneider, where he really hits home runs, it's in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th rounds. You look at Eamon Warry. I mean, when they do a draft, if they were to redraft the draft with Eamon Warry, he is a top 5 pick. He is a top 5 pick, and somehow Schneider finds a way to get these first round picks in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th rounds.
You know, when Chris said, Paul, that he's a top 5 pick, Eamon Warry, at first I rolled my eyes, and then second of all, I thought to myself, you know what, that may not be so stupid. Egan may be right that he may have been a top 5 pick. I mean, go back to 2012 and think about Russell Wilson and Bobby Wagner were 2nd and 3rd round picks that year. And if you redid that draft, they may have gone 2 and 3, for God's sakes. I think that was the Andrew Luck draft in 2012, and he was the consensus number 1 pick. But they may have been top 3 picks in that draft. And Chris, you're exactly right. It's not just about the first round guys. I mean, look at a guy like a Robbie Utes, who when he was healthy played a major role in the Seahawks run game. You look at a guy like a Torrey Horton. If he can stay healthy, he's going to be a guy that's going to be a big-time help to that wide receiver core. Even going back to Zach Charbonnet and Anthony Bradford, guys like A.J. Barner in 2024 that came on and is clearly now the best tight end this football team has got. So one thing we know about John, he likes to keep the roster cheap, Paul. He likes to keep the roster young, and that's how you win in the NFL, right? With the amount of money you're paying Jackson Smith and Jigba, with the amount of money you're about to pay Devin Witherspoon and then Sam Darnold, you got to start cutting costs somewhere. So I think he's going to try to pick up as many picks as he can to do that.
Softy, first off, thank you so much. We live in this world with vertical videos, and you just gave me my vertical video for the day. Egan may be right. I believe it's the first time Softy has said that in 30 years.
Has Paul ever said that to you, by the way? Honestly?
First time, you just said that, and I'll make sure that's on social media later on today.
Yeah, I mean, here he is. He's your buddy. You've worked with him now for a long time. You're supposed to be friends, teammates. You break bread together. Your families are close, and secretly behind your back, he's ripping you. So I'm glad to hear that somebody's finally complimenting you, because you deserve it, pal.
Man, I don't even know what to say to that. All right, let's talk some Huskies. They've been making some news. We'll talk Husky football and basketball as well, right in Softy's wheelhouse. That's next on the Ultimate Seattle Sports Show.